themselves apart from our nation. So
Okay,
it was like
let me give you a little background that might help you understand what's going on. The Spaniards um, invaded all of those Latin American countries that gave them the language of Spanish. And the other people that's not as dark as us know that it's a conflict going on between two groups of people with similar phenotypes, with different genetic backgrounds. Smashed us all together to see if we can figure out who he is 200 years later. So they don't want to get caught up in the conflict between the L's and the B's. They look at it like, I'm staying out of y'all family business, but when it's time for us to take a side, we already picked a side. In most Spanish-speaking countries, they identify with their native origin more than they do the colonizer's origin. We Puerto Ricans, Arawak, Boricua.
right.
Right? It's the same with most of the islands have kindred tribes. When you get to Mexico, you got different ethnic stocks throughout Mexico, but all they show you is the Chinese Negro hybrid. They don't show you the Afro-Mexicans or the ones up in the mountains fighting for liberation for the Zapatista. They don't show you those Mexicans because they too dark and some of them curls is too tight. So they don't want you to think that Mexico have a diversified cultural background of different tribes from the land. We do. We always had every skin color over here. Skin color was not the issue. Skin color was the parameters of war gave to us as what we call legal doctrine of free white persons, the attackers, the invaders, and the black pieces, which is the defenders, the civilly mortis, the ones found dead at sea in a salvage operation, right? So the Spanish, they want to be a part of the tribal team that's victorious. When you hear El Chapo talking to them Mexicans, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. Because he been communicating with Larry Hoover and Malachi York, and I didn't even know Larry Hoover knew how to speak Spanish, but apparently he do.
For sure. And I was going to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about Dr. York. And go ahead.
But when they're in Spanish Harlem, even the Mexicans, they do not associate with us. They identify. They have that party, that parade all up 3rd Avenue. They monopolize, and I know because I used to live on the 12th floor, and they start that sucker 9:30, 10 o'clock with that daggone parade. And they go all day. But they do not they live in our neighborhoods, but they do not give recognition at all to us. Now, I'm anti, I go, because you ain't on my roster, I can't be bored.
As long as they don't recognize us, I'm good with that.
Well, you know what? So...
Yeah, but they're in our neighborhoods, not to cut you up, they're in our neighborhoods. They sell us their products. We buy them. Don't get us started with the corn and stuff. But they get crazy with that. However, they'll sell us, they'll take our money, and they don't speak to you or interact in the same, and psychologically.
Yes.
That I was from Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn, that's a family hood. You know, you get all up and down.
You know, all of those stores that they own now, we used to own them.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? So there is a distinction, right? So those from Central America, the Mexicans, Guatemalan, there's a clear separation. But I know growing up, Puerto Ricans always identify themselves as black. Like if there were Dominicans were the ones that were like, I ain't black. A Dominican will tell you in a heartbeat they not black.
Don't leave the Cubans out.
It's like, but like I know in my high school, usually in terms of the Spanish kids, like if you was Boricua, right? If you was Puerto Rican, usually they were hanging out with the black kids in Harlem.
You
The Dominicans were the ones who was like, no.
Yeah, that Joe said, I didn't even know I wasn't a nigga. They said they just to the foundation of Black Americans told me.
You know what? I think that our
Say
problem.
that
I think.
again.
I'm sorry.
What
I
did,
think
what,
that. Hmm.
what did he say? Can he say that again? What did he say?
Rod Hayes.
I said, Fat Joe. He said, I didn't even know I wasn't a nigga to the foundation of Black Americans told me I wasn't.
Mm.
Like he
That
always knew he was a nigga. He just a Puerto Rican nigga.
but in Harlem, they associate with Caucasian. They do. Do. They don't.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but she's right. She's right. Me being from Brooklyn, New York, do you know how many times I've been outside in a Hispanic neighborhood waiting for a cab in the pouring down rain and they wouldn't stop for me?
Oh,
I lived on Linden in
yeah.
Lower Mall projects, nothing but Hispanics out there. They looked at me like I had three heads, like I wasn't even a part of them at
Okay,
all.
I want you to think about this for a second. It's 5 boroughs in New York, but it's one city. Look at each borough and tell me the common denominator that separates them. They normally, groups of people gravitate to a specific borough,
True.
right? The reason they gravitate to that borough is that's their assigned location on the land. Now, original tribal rules say that when you come over here to stay under your own vine and fig tree, don't impose your cultural beliefs and your personal beliefs on the neighboring clans. They follow it. We want them to come and impose their stuff on us. Let them people be about their business. Because when the rubber meet the road and the shit hit the fan, you're gonna look over and you're gonna see a Mexican on this side of you and a Puerto Rican on that side of you, a Jamaican behind you, a Haitian in front of you, and then you're gonna see a whole bunch of us regular niggas.
All right, let's hear from Goddess Malati. I'm
One
sorry,
more
Z
thing. On
really. Go ahead.
125th Street, they monopolize, take over, where the indigenous man can't even make it a sale and take care of his own family. They'll run.
Remember that we used to have all of that stuff they got before they had it.
Right.
You got to think about why we don't got it now.
But Uncle Rod, it wasn't like that. Like when I was growing up in the 70s, like when my uncle came home from Vietnam, he had a bunch of Hispanic friends. But what happened? How did we get so separated?
Big sister, hold on. Crystal, Miss KL,
Yes.
is that Goddess Molita? Somebody has to mute up because it's double check. It's coming back as back chat. And big sister, once you're done, we're gonna get Goddess Molita. Please, you've been waiting for a minute. Ask the question.
Go ahead, sister. I'm done. I'm done.
Mute up everyone else, please. Goddess Molita, you have it. You have the floor. Welcome. Goddess Molita.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome to Unscrambled Minds.
Thank you. I just want to send love and light to the whole panel. Chief Pontiac.
Thank you so much.
How you doing, sir?
I'm not doing too good.
What's wrong?
Well, I'm a little bit under the weather. I went to the dentist, and I'm just trying to recover from that.
Oh, okay.
But what I want to say, Chief has unscrambled this egg so well that our language is what has to change. When we're referring to ourselves as Black and all the other names that they have tried, the misnomers, and y'all bear with me because I usually don't come in and speak live, so I'm a little nervous and I'm a little bit under the weather. But anyway, what I want to say is the words that we use is so relevant today in this time that we have to work on changing our language. Our language is atrocious. We're calling ourselves things that we're not. People are referring to us as things that we are not. And every chance that I get, I work on correcting people. And I just say, like, your language is what is causing you to think like white people was this, black people was that. And there's a sister who runs I think it's a Facebook. I think her name is Lisa Siren or something. And she broke down that white thing not the white thing, the black thing so well. The pale people are the black people. Am I not correct, Chief?
To blacken means to make pale.
Right. And all this slavery talk, they were the ones who were being shipped on, cargo ships and containers.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they have basically done is flipped the narrative to try to make us think that this is us that they're talking about.
Absolutely.
And it's not us. But we keep getting wrapped up in it like, oh, well, this land was the slave land and this, that, and no. Chief has pointed out to us clearly who own this land. Or not own it. True caretakers, right, Chief?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just have to learn how to start putting that type of language into our tongues so we can correct these people. Because I'm at the point where I'm just tired of the nonsense, right? And people walking around here not understanding who or not knowing who we are. It's time over for that. And we have to begin to walk in our sovereignty. And forget whoever want to say they don't want to be around us for whatever reason, because that's pure ignorance. We are everybody's parent as indigenous people of Turtle Island. Okay, Chief, and then last thing, because I know I can go on and on and on, and y'all gave me some energy because I was feeling so bad. But I tapped into this thing. I didn't even know how to do it. So I was probably the one messing up the static and all that. But anyway,
You here now?
I'm here and I'm grateful, and I give thanks to all of y'all that do what y'all do. I've been working to try to get enough courage up to try to start my own little content. However, I'm still waiting to see which way we turn in this boat, because some people still too confused for me, right? And I don't get the confusion no more. We know who we are. We know what has happened. If you want to claim that you some type of American or U.S. citizen, then that means that you are a part of Washington, D.C. And what is Washington, D.C., Chief? District Columbia, right?
It's closed down now.
And it's closed down. So what are we constantly arguing about when we're talking about who is who? We just need to stand up and change our language and forget what these so-called white people or any other ignorant mind is constantly trying to, not predict, but, the narrative. They're still going with that narrative.
Mm-hmm.
It's straight bullshit.
You got to remember that the number one tool was divide and conquer. The more divisive they make us between ourselves, the more control they have over our movement. And the unity comes in when you watch, if you watch nature, when the tribes are about to join together or the clans, first they huddle up amongst each other first, right? It's what you're looking at culturally. All of the cultures is first they go over to themselves, right? Nature gonna do that. They're gonna naturally make them gravitate toward to the people like them in the local area. So you'll see, like in New York, you'll see the separation of the different Spanish speaking groups. Because the Puerto Ricans don't live exactly with the Dominicans. They might live neighbor to each other in buildings, but they know that this is the Puerto Rican building, and this is the Dominican building, and this is the Mexican building. So they all speak Spanish, but they all still come And they first, before they can spread out with the unity, they first have to come together with themselves to say, okay, now let's assess what we have here. But we not realizing what's taking place, so we missing the opportunity to do a self-assessment for the benefit of our community, because they got everybody so individually focused on me, myself, and I, that nobody's looking at, okay, first we gonna all come together among ourselves, and now you in a position where your unity have its maximum impact, right? Because the unity can't have a maximum impact until we are aware of who we are on the land and where we at, right? That's the same thing that Sun Tzu say about knowing how to move your troops. So you seeing these things taking place by nature. While we are mobbing up, we tribing up, we clicking up, we posseing up, because we getting ready to ride out, but we don't know that we getting ready to ride out. But we all feel it. So we just behaving in a certain manner before we go out and start putting the new world in order.
Yeah, that's exactly what's taking place. And what I see, I'm in California, in the Bay Area. So what I see is a lot of people who don't look like me. They running scared for whatever reason. And I try to be, I try to calm people down, and be like, we've been through worse things than this election that all y'all seem to be worried about.
Yeah, that's right.
So I just want to know when we gonna start saying this is Turtle Island. Stop calling this shit America, and this type of thing. When we gonna start just changing our language? We're not black. Let's get that off our tongue, please. Now we know it's ours though. It's our nickname. Look, I tell people all the time it's our nickname.
I like to say I'm organic, original Mississippi Clay Dirt Walker.
I know. Yes, you do say that.
So,
and I consider myself organic to the land as well. But I'm working to get us not back anywhere, but to reinstate what our ancestors have already put together for us. Did they not call this place Turtle Island?
hey, and that's why this race don't go to the swift. It go to the slow and steady. That's what my mama told me. That's that old totem. Slowly walking up on the finish line while that rabbit running around in circles playing games. He could have won the race.
By now?
He just couldn't find the finish line.
Just real quickly, if you have asked a question, I might have to drop you down because we have people waiting in the back, and we need to free up some space. Does anyone
forgot? Okay, no, I just really had comments. You see, I'm going on and on and on, but I want to.
No.
I'm so grateful for you all. I'm so grateful for you all.
We love to have you. We appreciate you. Don't ever apologize. And definitely start your channel. Nothing to be afraid of. Let us know. We will definitely support.
So, and then light bulbs will start going off, because tribally, what I do is called speaking in light code. Before we get started, somebody in the deficient makes you have an unhealthy craving for strange foods. And one of the things that's a comfort food is sugars. If sugar is not the problem, though many people think it is, it's the bleaching agents used to turn the sugar white. Sugar doesn't need to be white, never was white until they started bleaching it. Brown sugar is just natural cane sugar mixed with molasses. Right now they use bleached white sugar mixed with molasses to make brown sugar. Right? The brain uses about 80% of your glucose in the transferring of the energy through the neural networks. 80%. And this is why geniuses always got a sweet tooth, because they can't keep up with the rapid glucose burn in their brain. They'll become narcoleptic. They're not getting enough glucose to the brain. And then The tribes already knew about the association of the dirty burn. That's the rapid burning carbs, converting the soot in the brain, which mirrors the melanin, which increases the capability of the melanin to use the soot in order to expand its own consciousness without the rest of the body. It's called a dirty burn. It's the same as if you burn something and black smoke come off of it. It's not hot enough to consume it in its entirety, so it creates a dirty burn. The purified smoke is the white smoke, which is what they call a clean burn. The cleanest burn has no smoke, right? So we don't have to deal with who got the cure for cancer. The med bed can cure all that, which is the ancient sarcophagi, ancient Kemet, or the tombs that was kept in the caves in Tibet. They've been had the technology. It's not new. Most of the stuff they telling us is new technology. It's written about in ancient Hindu texts that's older than half of the civilizations in existence on the planet. They got the writings that tell us about millions of years of history in India. We used to have it over here, but this strange group called Smithsonian Institute decided that we didn't need our own history. So what did they do with it? They put it in underground caves on national parks. All national parks have a repository archive of original indigenous information that they don't want the public to have general access to. You have to literally go there. You have to make an appointment, set up who you want to talk to about what part of the history you're looking for. And if they just so happen to name it wrong, they'll say that's not here. Because they don't want you going in there, but they can't stop you. So they just tell you that the part you're looking for ain't there, and it's there. They just call it something different than you call it with your modern education. So they can easily dismiss you at that point.